Ryan at Vacation Rental Bookkeeping. This is the final video in a series on the income statement for vacation rental owners using Xero. In this video, we'll be taking a look at how to customize the income statement so that you can view different time periods, compare time periods, and also split up the income statement according to your different properties or booking sources. If you missed some of the other videos, we also talked about how to view the income statement, what it is. We took a look at the individual parts of the income statement. We talked about how it can help and what it does not show about your business. So feel free to check out those other videos in this series. Let's go ahead and click on Reports, Income Statement, and we'll pull up the income statement for this sample company, Mountain Cabins LLC. We've been looking at the income statement under Compare Periods. It's a great place to go if you want to look at a 1-month income statement. And we've been looking at the March 2016 income statement because that's where we have our data. You can choose whichever month would apply to your situation. Under Period, we can choose how many months we want the income statement to cover. Typically, we'll look at 1 month. We can choose other options down here as well, and we'll look at those in a second. We've been choosing not to compare periods, and we'll look in just a minute at how we can compare different periods. We'll cover the budget in a separate series of videos. If you're using the budget feature in Xero, you can check out those videos. We've also been sorting it by account code. That's my preference. You can leave it on account name if you like that. So let's look at the income statement as we've been seeing it in the other videos. It looks like this. We see all the data for March of 2016. The year-to-date column has been selected automatically, and so we see what has happened so far in 2016 for January, February, and March combined together. Let's make some adjustments and see what we can look at. If we want to see the details for January and February on this income statement to go along with March, we can compare to the previous 2 periods. Now our periods are being defined as a month, so when we say compare to the previous 2 periods, it means compare to the previous 2 months. If we update, now we can see the details for January, February, March, and since we have the year-to-date box checked, we can see the total for those 3 months. Let's say we wanted to see a first quarter report for this business. Instead of choosing 1 month, we could choose 3 months for a quarter. We'll take off the comparison for now and choose Update. And notice the title changes to Income Statement for the first 3 months ending the 31st of March 2016. You notice that the year-to-date column matches the March 2016 column because we are looking at the first quarter. So in this case, we really don't need the year-to-date column. We could uncheck that, update, and then just have the 1 column showing. If we want to look at an income statement for an entire year, let's say we want to see the income statement for 2016. So we would select December of 2016 and then tell it that we want to view a 12-month income statement. And let's not do any comparison right now. We don't need to select year to date because that's what we're actually looking at, the whole year. Let's update. And notice our column says December 2016, but in the title it says for the 12 months which ended on December 31st, 2016. So these are the totals for 2016 for this business. So by selecting different time periods and comparisons, you can customize the income statement for whatever you would like. If we want to compare to last year, we can compare with the previous 1 period in this case year, so we can compare 2015. In this company, there's very little data in 2015, and so we're going to see a lot of zeros, but that's how you would set it up. All right, if you would like to filter your income statement by property, which is a great feature, let's go back to the March statement that we've been looking at. And we'll just look at that 1 month. Let's take off the comparison for now. And what we're going to do is filter by property. This particular business has 2 properties. You may have more, and they would be listed here. I like to select all properties, and then update. And what that will do is break up the income statement into columns. Here is the income and expenses for the Morning Glory cabin only. So we can see how it is performing by itself with just that simple click of the mouse. Here's the data for the Sleeping Bear cabin, and all the income and expenses completely separated out. And then over here we have the totals for the 2. Notice that it does add a column called unassigned. There are some transactions that are difficult to assign to just one property or another. For example, this $212.84 was a merchant fee or credit card processing fee. The reason that it may be hard to assign that to one cabin or another is because often the credit card's income comes in a batch where you have a large sum being deposited maybe once per day, and that large sum may include income from more than one of your rental properties, and then you have a fee for that credit card transaction as well. Because it includes more than one property in that lump sum, it can be difficult to split up that fee for the different properties, and so in this case it just went into unassigned. There's some other ones that are unassigned here. Property insurance was not split up between the 2 properties, probably because the company just received one bill that covered both properties and it wasn't split up. If you see something in this column and you think it should be able to be split up, you can let me know and we'll see if we can take care of that for you. Repairs and maintenance. Sometimes something may have been purchased and it was used for both properties, and sometimes we may split it half and half, but occasionally it may end up over here in the unassigned category because it was used in more than one place. The website is a good example. The website is used for both properties, and so it came over here under unassigned. It could also have been split half and half between the 2. And if you'd like it to look like that, you can let me know. We'll try to take care of that for you. But what I wanted you to see is how easy it is to take a look at your individual properties just by filtering by property. If you want an income statement that only shows one property, you can click on that particular property and update it, and it'll get rid of the other columns. Actually, it will just show you in the title, this is an income statement only for the Morning Glory cabin. All right, we can take that back on Do Not Filter, and we can also filter by source. This is booking source. If we select all sources, it will show us the columns for the booking sources. This particular business uses HomeAway, TripAdvisor, and their own website. There's also a column for personal days. Sometimes when a stay may be considered a personal day because it's highly discounted, but you may still accept security deposits or a small amount of rent, and so we have a category for that as well. But now you can see how much revenue came in the month of March through HomeAway, how much came in from TripAdvisor, and how much you took in from your website. So you can evaluate how each of those booking sources are performing very easily by just sorting it by booking source. And you can also see the fees that you had to pay. You had to pay $271 to HomeAway during the month of March. to use their services compared to $32 for use of our own website. And so you can make evaluations there and decide what's best for your business and where do you want to focus your efforts. And really great information can be found very quickly. You'll notice that all of the expenses down here are in the unassigned category because none of these expenses apply to booking source. Your electric bill has nothing to do with these booking sources, and so it's not assigned a booking source. It will always be in the unassigned category. It really only applies to the income up here at the top of the income statement. Quickly, we'll take a look at some of the other tabs. Common formats are really just some shortcuts that you can click on so that you don't have to enter all the data in the common periods tab. So you can click on year-to-date progress. Now when I click on it, it will not show much data because I'm doing this video in 2017, but the data for my company is mostly in 2016, so we see lots of zeros here. But these are nice little shortcuts that you can use. Month-to-date progress. Again, I have no revenue because it hasn't been entered in for this time period, but these are nice shortcuts that you could use. On Show Date Range tab, we can actually customize very specific dates for our income statement. So let me back up to where I have some data put in there. Let's say I wanted to see an income statement for this week right here. It started on February 28th. And then I can set the to date to March 5th. So I'm showing an income statement for that one particular week. And we don't need to compare anything. So we'll choose none and update. So here's an income statement of how this business performed for that one particular week. And so you can customize these dates to whatever time period you want to view information for. We can also set a month. Let's go ahead and do March again. March 1st to March 31st. And then notice on the compare with, we can do something interesting here, compare to the previous year. And the compare periods will do 1, update. And notice that will bring up March of 2016 compared to March of 2015, which may be an interesting comparison. Now this business actually started January 2016, so we're not seeing any data for March of 2015. But I just wanted to show you how you can set that up. If you want to see how did this year compare to last year, you can do that under this Show Date Range tab. Select the time period you want to view, and then you can compare to the previous year. Again, you can also filter by your property, your booking source, just like in the other tab. You can actually filter both the property and the booking source. It gets a little messy though. For example, let's go ahead and take off the comparison. If I show all the properties and all the booking sources, all right, so it'll look like this. Morning Glory Cabin HomeAway bookings, Morning Glory Cabin Personal Day bookings, Morning Glory Cabin TripAdvisor bookings, and so forth. It shows all the different combinations of properties and booking sources. And then this is a little difficult to show on here, but you have to scroll over to see all those different columns. So that's something you can do, but again, it gets a little messy with so many different columns there. So typically it's easier to just look at one or the other. One last thing, if you want, once you get an income statement that you like, if you want to look at it off screen or you want to save it, you can scroll all the way to the bottom. You can print the income statement, or you can save it as an Excel file, a PDF, or you can export it to Google Sheets if you have a Google account, and you can save it there as well. All right, if you have any other questions about the income statement, please feel free to check out the other videos or let me know and I'll help you out as best I can. Thanks for watching this series of videos on the income statement for vacation rental owners using Xero.